Hey YouTube, I am here with Miss Mila Miller. Hi Mila. Say hello. Give a big smile. Come on. So I am here posting the video that I promised I would be posting on postpartum depression. And I want to first off give a little background as to why I decided to post this video. Then I wanted to go into all of the different things that happened right when I was giving birth, or towards the time that I was giving birth, that I believe made me feel like I was losing my mind. And then I want to go into the 5 things that I did with the help of my doctor that helped me, in my opinion, I think, get out of the slump of postpartum depression. So first and foremost, I'm going to tell a story about why I'm deciding to post this video. I went to my doctor and I was talking to her about how I was feeling. And she tells me this story. She tells me that she has this neighbor who is a mother of like 2, and she has a newborn. And she's struggling with the newborn. The newborn won't sleep at night. The newborn's super colicky. And this neighbor is calling my doctor at all hours of the night and just freaking out. My doctor happens to get on Facebook a few days later, and she sees this picture that her neighbor posted of her sleeping baby and a caption that's like, "Oh, motherhood is the best." So my doctor is explaining to me that so many mothers do other mothers a disfavor by just talking about all of the positive stuff dealing with pregnancy, dealing with postpartum. So I decided that anybody that has a social media platform is not just there to post the super positive stuff about life. Of course, yes, that is what we want to do, but we also want to allow other people to become stronger and happier and healthier by us giving them our experience and things that maybe helped us. So I am going to post this video so that hopefully some of my followers on Instagram, that I know a lot of you guys are pregnant, a lot of you guys just had babies, so that's super exciting, but a lot of you might also be going through what I went through, and maybe me talking about it is going to help, okay? So during the time that I gave birth to Mila, a lot of life changes were happening for me. First and foremost, we sold a large portion of our company, and the acquiring company did not elect to take my corporate staff. My corporate staff were the individuals that I dealt with every single day. They were the people that I brought on, that I watched grow and develop, and I had a very special relationship with all of them. So it was very difficult knowing that these people were going to lose their jobs. That definitely took a toll on me. Bless you. There were a lot of nights that I didn't sleep very well because of this, and just breaking the news to them was horrible. So after that, obviously once we sold off about 90% of our company, there wasn't a need for me to get up and go to work for 10 hours a day. Not only, to mention that I couldn't because of this guy. But anyways, that time that I had to myself, that I was getting up every day, I was leaving the house, I was interacting with people that were outside of my family circle, which is very beneficial to me, was gone. The other crazy life change that happened was now I was home every day with the kids and not my husband. So all of like the normal time that I need to myself, because I'm a huge introvert, was gone. I had 3 kids with me all day, from 8:30 in the morning to 5:30 at night. And then they actually stay at our house a few nights a week as well. That was very difficult for me, not only because I was learning her schedule. I was trying to figure out how to be a mom, but I was also super emotional, so I was crying a lot. I don't want to cry in front of anybody, let alone my children. So I was like locking myself in my bedroom with, the blinds drawn and like a crazy person. I literally felt like a crazy person. And I finally started to like share this with my husband, and he's like, we should talk to your doctor. So I went to my doctor, I explained to her how I was feeling, and she basically explained to me that it wasn't me just being a psychopath, that there's a lot of things going on chemically in our bodies after we give birth, and they're not necessarily our faults, okay? Here, take the finger. It's like she wants it, and then she just spits it right back out. She's just bad. So my doctor explains to me that since I am an individual with normally very high serotonin levels, going through a change like after giving birth actually makes me even more prone to something like postpartum depression, because having such high levels of serotonin, just a small drop in those can really affect my behavior, can really affect how I'm feeling, my emotions, everything. So there were 5 things that I did that really helped me. It's been a month since I've introduced all 5 of these things. So I'm going to go through those now. So the first thing that I started to do was work out 30 minutes each day. The reason I say 30 minutes is because my doctor explained to me that 30 minutes of working out is the equivalent of taking an antidepressant. Now, antidepressants are something that me and my doctor talked about, and it's something that I did not elect to do because I know myself and I have a very addictive personality, and I do not want to get addicted to anything. I just don't want to depend on anything for long-term periods. So I, again, elected just to try working out 30 minutes a day and seeing if that helps. Now, if I still felt the way that I felt 30 days ago, I would definitely entertain the idea. I just wanted to try to be natural before I tried any sort of medication. But that's not saying that anybody should not. Everybody's different, and everybody's hormone levels are different, and everybody's serotonin, dopamine, everything is different in everybody. So talk to your doctor about that. The second thing I did was more of a life change with my daily schedule. I put my foot down and I, talked to the people that were helping me with the kids, and I said, I need more help. I can't do these surprise visits anymore. I can't do, on days that aren't our days. I can't do this anymore. I need time to myself. I need time alone with Mila, and I just need to get really comfortable with her first. And, this is something to never feel bad about. You have to be 100% whole yourself before you can give anything to your kids. So this was something that I 100% needed to do to become sane again and not to cry 90% of every day. The third thing is I actually cut alcohol. Alcohol, even if it's 1 glass of wine a day, really makes a difference for dopamine, serotonin levels in our bodies. So I did cut alcohol for like the first 2 weeks. I started to feel good, and now I've introduced like a glass a day here and there. The fourth and the fifth thing that I did were actually with the help of my doctor. Number 4 is I went back on a low hormone birth control. Are we talking? And that is something that your doctor will be able to walk you through. It does make a difference if you're breastfeeding and if you are not. So I have been on that birth control for 30 days and I feel fantastic. And I actually stopped bleeding because I was one of those 5% or something that actually got their period back while breastfeeding. I know. I literally feel the same way about it. It was so bad. But anyways, the fifth thing has to deal with my breast milk production. So if you're breastfeeding, if you're trying to breastfeed, you 100% will understand what I'm saying about always stressing out whether you have enough to give your child the proper amount of nutrition. And once Mila was around, I think like 6 weeks, I was really running low. I was pumping every like hour, every 2 hours for 15 minutes each, and I was still like hardly coming up with enough milk to feed every 2 to 3 hours. So it was really stressful. So my doctor actually put me on a taper of medicine that would help, hopefully help my milk production increase. It did help. And throughout that increase, I started to put a lot of milk into the freezer. So I was putting a lot of it away, and I started slowly introducing formula into Mila's diet. So now she's drinking 5 to 6 ounces every 4 hours, and I'm not stressed at all. And I'm not pumping every hour, every 2 hours. I'm pumping more every like 4 to 6 hours. And it's much easier to have 2 ounces of milk per feeding versus 5 to 6 ounces of milk per feeding. So that is something that you can also talk to your doctor about. I'm sure every doctor has a different approach to the breast milk situation. And I will post a separate video on this, as well as everything else that has to do with feeding, breastfeeding, and how I tapered her onto a formula, which formula, blah, blah, blah. She was a little bit colicky, so I'm gonna put that in there too, but that's for a completely different video. So I hope that me giving some of my followers the 5 things that I did to help me deal with my postpartum depression. It has been 30 days since I've been feeling great. I hope this gives you guys a little bit of hope, and I hope maybe you learned something from this. And if you have any questions, feel free to DM me. But again, I hope this video helps, and little Mila says bye.